I'm Calvin Thompson. I'm a senior in urban studies, and today I'm going to talk about climate change and opportunity in the United States' largest city, New York, specifically looking at how the city has used, I will call it an opportunity, but also the disasters of climate change and climate mitigation to create potential wealth generation opportunities for minorities in the city and go through the larger issues at hand. So, inequality in New York is a profound issue. It's a continual issue. It's a long-standing issue. And it's something that the city feels obvious pressure to address and is also a signifier of larger national trends that we face with inequality growing, not shrinking in the future. And so to halt this, or at least to confront this issue, New York has founded the Economic Development Corp to support all of their businesses, but within that, they've dedicated a tremendous amount of resources to what they call Opportunity MWDBE, excuse me, which is minority, women-owned, and disadvantaged business enterprises. The idea being, if you can give these businesses more opportunities, you can build a better track record, then give them the chance at larger opportunities, and in turn build localized wealth ecosystems that are more substantial. So there has also been kind of a wrench/opportunity thrown into these plans when Governor Cuomo decided to close India Point nuclear plant in Westchester County, New York in 2017. So this plant produces roughly 25% of the city's energy and is going to close in 3 years. And there's no comprehensive plan whatsoever to fill that need or to reduce demand by that great an amount. So for obviously the nation's largest city, it's quite a spectacular point, but is not widely publicized and is not widely known. So the main means of addressing this problem that the city has honed in on is finding new power sources, which has been a real struggle. Those that argue for nuclear have detractors. Those that argue for solar and wind have detractors with natural gas and with other competitors. So it's really just turned into a whole nightmare of a situation. But the Retrofit Accelerator was designed to help building owners and the city itself reduce energy demand and thereby cut out the need to replace sources. So it was basically created to offer building owners and the city itself more resources to connect the needs to the actual doers of projects, to the engineering firms, to the heating and cooling companies, to construction firms that could install your new lighting, install new energy systems, et cetera. The issue is there has been almost no follow-through on actually completing these plans. So the city published a list of all these pre-approved contractors, which essentially create a short list for billions of dollars in retrofit contracts. And it's a huge opportunity to be put on one of these lists, but the initiative has fallen short. As you can see, there's almost no fill out of the retrofit website. There's almost no resources connecting MWDBE businesses to the pre-approved contractors you do find even on the retrofit website. And I think this is a more large point about political will and about the initiative to actually put resources behind projects that are announced on a local level. And I apologize, before this presentation I was deciding on the wonkiness of what I would present today and I fell short, so I apologize. So of all the Opportunity MWDBE businesses listed, I thought it would be interesting to do a cross comparison between what you saw with the Retrofit Accelerator and what you saw with Opportunity MWDBE. And what is really interesting is there is a huge amount of companies listed, and there was a focus on construction, which has obvious parallels to the Retrofit Accelerators. But there was actually no coordination between the two lists. Even though there were heating and cooling specialists on the MWDBE lists, you found no mention of them on the retrofit lists. And there was no initiative to connect those dots. But the city has initiated up to $1 million no-bid contracts, or essentially discretionary contracts given out by city officials to support these businesses. But there are no such contracts available for retrofitting, only for construction. So I'll just go back. The larger point here is really on what the city's initiative should be and what the larger impact of local action when you want to have systemic problems addressed is and can be. When the political will is only about this year or next year or balancing a budget annually and getting reelected in 4 years, it's really hard to make convincing arguments for a long-term project that will support business growth over many years, that will support actual environmental change, even if the problems you're trying to address are as near horizon as 2022. It's a real problem. And there's actually no cohesive action being taken, which was the unfortunate outcome of my research. I was hoping to find really, really enthusiastic problem solving happening at this level, but there was almost none. And in attempted interviews with the city, I was told by one person in the mayor's office, who I shall not name, that there is no will for this and no one has stepped up to take it, quote. But I did not want to put that in the presentation as the final note. I just thought I would say it. So thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it all.